the Space Jam. Alright.
Many people over the years have questioned where sand comes from. It covers much of our planet and the entirety of our deserts, but who really knows where it's from? Well, we here at How It's Made are proud to boast that we know how sand is made, information which we will now divulge with you. A common misconception, orchestrated by the many governments of this world and held up by our leaders, is that glass is made from sand. The reason for this is that we have a nearly unlimited supply of glass, but we need to keep making sand to sustain our desert ecosystems. They do not want us to find out about this because if we did, we could sustain them on our own and would no longer need them. So without any further ado, here is how sand is really made. Every single grain of sand in the world starts as a giant pane of glass from our nearly unlimited supply. Factories have this stuff in bulk and pretend to manufacture it regularly. Each layer of the glass that we have is loaded with plungers onto conveyor belts that don't have any belts, where they are rolled to quality inspectors. As you can see, each of the white plungers we use to move our glass is extraordinarily high-tech and needs to be replaced once every 2 weeks. Each sheet of glass is propped up on its side for inspectors to make sure that it is spotless and will make top quality sand, only the silkiest for our beaches. This inspector, number 497, has deemed this pane of glass acceptable. It is perfectly spotless and will make silky sand all the way through. It is now being set up a conveyor belt with no belt, so that it can be added to and made even more high quality before being turned finally into sand. Here you can see additive glass being formed. This glass looks crystalline at first, but as it is added to the pre-existing sheets of glass, it makes them even more valuable and makes 10 times as much sand. It's extremely efficient. To streamline the delicate human aspect of the factory process, the panes of glass are snapped together only now to make it more efficient for the machines to process them. This process is informally known as glass pasting and is done entirely by machines and large wheels which never actually touch the glass. Watch in amazement as this precise machinery takes 2 pieces of glass and forms them into one by running a sharp blade backwards down the cracks in the glass. They actually reverse cut it and make it into one whole pane of glass. Although this has been attempted on materials other than glass, it has been without success 100% of the time. Unfortunately, since no one on Earth knows how glass is made, it's going to remain a mystery how this happens, probably until the end of time. At this point in the sand-making process, the glass is checked by numerous secret spy planes which you can see very slightly in the reflection of the glass. At this point in the process, the glass is still fairly malleable, as it is brand new to the factory setting. Luckily, there is only one blemish present in this pane, and it will be taken out shortly. At this point you can see the glass and its one imperfection are being rolled into an enormous oven, fit enough to bake 100 million cookies at the same time. This oven is so long it takes up the entire length of this factory. It was built first, and everything else had to be built around it. At this point, things inside the oven are starting to heat up, slowly and carefully, removing every imperfection from the glass. It is then treated with water to prevent further damage. And now in this final, brutal step of the process, the already perfect glass is being treated with intense wheel therapy. It hurts very much and slowly turns the glass into delicious, healthy, and very hot, liquid sand. But they can't let the sand dry just yet. That would make what you are currently seeing imperfect sand. It is, and fully deserves to be, put directly into the sun, what you are currently seeing, where it is destroyed beyond a shadow of a doubt. But now back to the sand that was created properly. It comes out of the giant oven looking like this, what workers have nicknamed sand popcorn, where it is the last step before it becomes full-fledged perfect sand. The nearly finished sand is put into a large vat where it cools over a period of 117 days with no rest. The most perfect of the bunch is sucked onto this magically detecting conveyor belt, which takes it directly to the beaches and deserts of the world. The rest of the sand that remains in the vat is seen as not fit to exist, and after we photographed these bottles of them, all of it was sent directly into an all-destroying black hole, where it would lose all value and become nothing. Oh, where would we be without perfect sand? And we owe it all to this magical substance we know absolutely nothing about called glass. Thank you, glass, and an even bigger thank you to the star of the show, sand.